Welcome everybody to today's session on Thinkly Innovation Community. We are really blessed to have with us Mandi Sir, 1 by 12 Mandi Sir, as he's well known in the industry and also in the academia. And today we are both going to explore and really discuss with Sir about certain areas on how we can transform higher education, how we can innovate higher education. And we also explore and learn through Mandi Sir in terms of new initiatives, new experiments which are being undertaken to ensure that in higher education across various top institutes across the country, what are the various initiatives, what are the various potential that we are looking at, and how do we really innovate and transform this complete area? It isn't got to do with design thinking, just it's got to do with a vast area of learning and exploring with Mandi sir today. So I'll just share a couple of slides to look at our agenda that we have for today. And what we have is here we are looking at today's session that we are looking at is how do you look at innovating higher education, and in key aspects we look at today are how do you, what's the immediate need for transforming higher education? What are any recent trends that we see in this area as we look at any experiences, and what support, what areas that we need to really augment from the industry front and as in academia also to transform our education areas, and what are the areas that we could really address in some way when we try and innovate the space. So we have, as I mentioned, 1 by 12, Mandi sir is there with us, and he's professor of OB HRM from IIM Mumbai, 30 plus years of experience, and has been a pioneer in the industry as well as academia for student startup. Earlier, when it was NITI, student startup and fraternity, has been there, acclaimed within the industry, within academia, as a leader and a thinker of transforming higher education, student learning, as we look at. And we're really blessed, sir, and welcome to the Innovation Thinkly Community podcast for today. And really grateful that you acknowledged and you agreed to jump on this session today. One question that really comes to mind, sir, and which I also have a lot of curiosity is, you typically, sir, mention yourself as 1 by 12 Mandi, sir. So what is this 1 by 12? This is a very interesting kind of a phenomenon.
Yeah. One by Namaskar, and thank you for this opportunity. You're all design thinkers and also innovators. It's pleasure for me to be with you all. And the yeah, sales pitch in which the number is 1 by 12 is mesmerizing. That's the reason somebody will immediately ask me a question. What is 1 by 12? That is the sales pitch. Okay, that's one. But second thing is that when you say 1 by 12, 8 batta 12. 1 by 12 is Hindi, we call it as Ek Batta Bara. Actually, Ek Batta Bara will reveal much more than 1 by 12. 1 by 12 really doesn't, for Indians, for us Indians, 1 by 12 doesn't make any sense, but Ek Batta Bara makes more sense. So the numerator and the denominator, 1 by 12, it tells about uh, incoming and outgoing, Agaman and Nishkraman, kitna aata hai, kitna jata hai. So that's basically the, so what do you call Marwadi approach, you know, Baniya approach. Kitna aaya, kitna gaya. So gaya 12, at least we should get one back. That is the minimum thing we should have a hope for it. That's why it's 1 by 12. So there is we can make a big story out of it. Why only one? We can think more about it. But basically, it is income and outgo. It is income and outgo of education that will really hit at the higher education. Why it is in bad shape, what should be done, that will the fulcrum around which we can discuss the logic of higher education, how it should be. Yeah.
Right, sir. And I think very, very interesting topic, because in our discussions also you have been really pulling up that, as students, if there is a lot of value that they are generating, and of course, the whole objective of education has to be towards generating that value for the society, for the society at large, in large number of ways. And education is more of value generating entity, and how that has to be adding a lot of value in some way. So I'll just share your slides, sir. Is that fine? I'll share the slides
Absolutely.
now.
Yeah, let us
I'll
start.
just share. So the audience, we have some very nice messaging that sir wants to really help us. I'll just share my slide there.
Please.
Just a minute, sir.
Yeah. So, exploring higher education trends is a title which is given by uh, Dr. David, the design thinkers for it. Yeah, it is basically we are trying to look at higher education trends, and it is a serious issue. I mean, just recently we have the ILO report on unemployment has come out, and they revealed serious numbers about the unemployment situation in the India, and especially they were mentioning about the numbers relating to higher education, saying that higher education has got a greater unemployment even too. In the context of it, we are trying to look at how to remedify, how to correct, how to do some kind of a tweaking in higher education so that we'll be able to get the benefits of the the dividend, no population dividend, the youth dividend which we have. We have an amazing kind of 25 years of uh, people advantage, human resource advantage. And if you are not able to get that, it's going to be a big serious issue, and it will be miss the bus. And I kept my name as 1 by 12 Mandi Sir. Mandi Sir is the name generally teach students call me like 1 by 12 basic meaning it has got. Ek batta bara. I'll tell more about what is 1 by 12. And I said that I come from a jati, I come from a class, I come from a jati jan. I am from that particular tribe where who turns out young adults as diffidents, bankrupts, and berozgari. I mean, it's a self-indignation basically. So rather than others saying it, it's better to name myself that no. So you see some of the T-shirts on which youngsters will be wearing it, saying that I was born, no genius, but education made me stupid or no idiot, whatever is that they say. Three Idiots is one of the films which we have seen for that. So higher education is blamed for these things, and I agree actually. No, with these numbers which are around us, it is true that higher education is doing injustice to the youth. Unless higher education does justice, unless higher education is going to help the topsy-turvy, the downturn, the marginalized, exploited, the the underdogs are being helped and get advantage out of higher education, it makes no sense. That is the reason why I said that no, the I come from a tribe called youths are being made into diffidents. Actually, recently one of the students was mentioning to me saying that, sir, I mean, I go to industry with a lot of diffidence, not with the confidence, because I came here with a confidence, but I'm returning like that. That's a serious word for me. Like, and we have at least 4 crore 40 million students, higher education students in the country, and most of the students are finding this. And students are also become made into bankrupt. पूरा कमर तोड़ देता है उनका. इतनी पैसा लूट लेता है higher education. So I mean, any parent who has sent his child to abroad knows exactly about how costly is their higher education is. And today even primary education is very costly, not only higher education. So the loot lena, kamar thod dena, no, this is one of the bankruptness of higher education is one thing. Today we are increasing the fees of higher education like left and right. So that's the reason why I said I come from that background. And paise leke unko diffidence or berozgar bana. And please understand the kind of the energy at time like that. No, it's around 20 to 25 their energies are being used. 15 to 25, the best of the uh, Bhagat Singhs. Bhagat Singh 1525, you can imagine Inkulab Jindabad, he said. Such persons energy has dissipated. So it's a serious issue for higher education trends. We have to look at it, and it has to be changed. And actually, it can be easily changed. Actually, Dr. David has really triggered me for this when he said that innovation in higher education is in a big area. And we talk about innovation in industry, we talk about innovation in logistics, we talk about innovation in biochemistry, we talk about many other things. But higher education is one area where innovation is badly needed and it can be easily implemented. And design thinking, desirability, feasibility, and sustainability can be easily understood, and it can be easily implementable in higher education. There is a reason why this particular topic is being picked up. So I basically look at innovation, and that too in a higher education, not at the uh, plus two and school level and primary school. We are not looking at. We are trying to look at the higher end of the education. This is one thing. And second, more important thing is that it is better to start remedifying the top end rather than the beginning. Actually, a lot of people think that innovation should come in a school education. Of course, school education can also come in, but it is much easier to do this in higher education because higher education has got a technology is implemented very well. Technology access is very high. WhatsApp, YouTube, this kind of thing, and they're all learned students. There are adult students, there are grown-up students actually. The 4 crore students whom I am referring to, they're all grown-up students. It's easy to tell them to implement the change and they can be able to embrace it. They can understand it very, very easily. So we'll be looking at innovation. And my definition of innovation is very clear that small change and big impact. An amazing impact, not just incremental impact, but it should be a huge change is going to be there. That's one definition of innovation. Second thing is that we don't do things in normally we do things reverse. So that's one of the more important things also. Actually, when we repeatedly doing the things and repeatedly we are failing, the answer is very clear that what we are doing is wrong. Repeated failure will reveal very clearly that there is something wrong in what we are doing. And the message is also very clear that, and we are doing much more of the same thing and much bigger bad results when we are getting it. The message is very clear that you do exactly reverse, you get better results. So this is an innovation which we look at in higher education. What we are doing is we do just alter it for a 180 degrees reverse connect. I generally call it as for a ulta professor. I call it as reverse professor. I also call it like, okay. Yeah, we can go to the next slide.
I'll just share the slide there.
Sure, sure.
Slides are visible?
Yeah, it is visible. So just keep it, just don't play it. So basically, this is an experience which I have seen one of the railway stations. I was going to somewhere, Sansora in Rajasthan, Gujarat. So I went for a one Jain visit. Jain Mandir is there in some Sansora in somewhere in Gujarat. I don't know whether you heard about it or not. So on a railway platform, I could see that a boy was selling lemons and he was selling to the passengers. And it was very interesting for me. So actually, I love sales. There's a reason I picked up a small clip here. I'll just wait for a minute. So I got a interesting kind of a story to tell based upon this 1 minute clip. The audience, I appeal to you to see it. Actually, when we look at this boy, is an uneducated boy, and he is trying to sell lemons, and he sells to them and then picks it up, and he, with a joy, he will be just going out. I request Dr. David to just play the video. Yeah, this is a small clip, and actually you can play one more time, Dr. David, if you love to. So it's a small clip. Yeah, yeah. This is normal video. I don't think it's anything big about it like that. We can see in any railway station, we can see in any other place, small kids will be selling it. Any uneducated will be selling on the road. They will be selling sabji, they will be selling fruits, they will be selling everything like that. So it's nothing new about it, and nothing new about it. What interests me is that this gentleman is not an MBA. He's not done from School of Management, IIT Bombay, or maybe IIM Ahmedabad, marketing management. He has not done his an MBA as it is, but still he's selling it. And there is no sales talk, there is no any presentation skills is required for it. The gentleman came with that and he just, gave the lemons and done it. I was also thinking about what is the margin of this particular boy in terms of lemons. I guess the margin will be very, very high actually. So, what do you think? What will be the margin of this boy? Is it what percentage? Anybody can tell it. What do you guess? What is the margin of this business margin for this gentleman?
We'll just wait for some time. I think the audience is just responding
Huh, okay.
on
So the margin
the
will be
chat.
definitely two digit. It's nothing less than two digit. It will be more than 9%, 10%. So, for example, he has not grown the lemons. He just brought the lemons and he sold it. I'm sure for every 100 rupees, he gets a 10 rupees profit. Actually, he gets more than 10 rupees. And these were very, very high margin businesses. An uneducated person without any sales talk, no MBA, no degree, just for paid palne ke liye, this boy is doing it, and the margin is 20% and 30%. So, you might say that what the gentleman you are trying to, you are IIM professor, you are talking about child labor, and young, a small bache bech rahe, you are promoting it. No, I am not promoting it. I am trying to show to these 4 crore graduate students. How many graduate students will do this kind of an activity where they can go out and sell it? This is a question which I ask as a business professor. This is the genuine question for me to be answered. For example, how many MBAs as part of their how many commerce students as part of their commerce curriculum will do this kind of an activity at least one day, at least 10 days? Rarely they do it. How come we can give degrees to these 4 crore students? Maybe around engineers, maybe around economics graduates, maybe around commerce graduates, maybe around business management, BBAs, MBAs. How come we can give degrees to them saying that you're a master of business? We're talking about adult students. We're not talking about small babies. We're not talking about primary school kids. And it's part of curriculum that they should be able to do it. So this exercise will throw light to us saying that the possibilities. So this is an innovation which I would like to bring to the audience attention and say that there is an immense underlying insightful lesson behind it. When we need to be able to capture it, take it forward. So on this, if I tell my story about innovation in higher education in higher education for the last 25 years, this is the fulcrum on which the whole innovation is being designed. So basically, I brought in a learning activity which is essentially economical. I repeat, usually it's an academic activity. It's a non-economical activity. It is academic activity which is, it's an academic. Academic means it's non-economic. Academic means it's non-economic. It is money losing but not money gaining. Actually, that is called academic. If it academic means it should lose money, should not gain money, is academic. All Saraswati is related to losing money. Actually, Saraswati is not supposed to get Lakshmi. Then only it is called academic. That's the way definition is being done. Actually, this is the design thinking. We have designed an educational, higher education system all across the world in such a way that money is not desired. Desirability of money is zero. Feasibility of money is zero. Sustainability is zero. So desirability, non-desirability is a desirability. What is that? Money going is preferable. Sustainable. How you make sustainable? You make it feasible to subsidies. So completely negative of design thinking is higher education design. Not only in India, all across the world. It's not only 4 crore students of higher education in India, but maybe around even 2-3 times the whole worldwide population, maybe around 10 crore students, maybe around 12 crore students all across the world. If you look at, this is basically a losing game which is being done. So numerator is 0, denominator is 12. So 0 by 12. Shunya by Shunya batta bara. That is the whole equation. We would like to make it ek batta bara at least. That's the whole idea. Can we go to the next slide, sir? Next slide. So before that, before that. So this is my student. This is an MBA student in 2003. On 2003 onwards, look at a student is being given saman, and इस सामान लेके बाहर जाके बेच के वो सीखना है. एंड वो किसको बेच रहे हैं आप देख ले. Anybody can understand. A chappal shop owner in Bombay, in Parla, in Thane, in Vikhroli, in Juhu, anywhere. If you look at chappal shop owner को उनको बेच रहे कि सामान लेके उनको बेच रहे. And he is getting not only selling, but also he is getting lessons from the other gentlemen saying that how to sell, what is a business. So completely it is 180 degrees reverse. The most CAT score, GATE score, intelligent, too much of intelligent person, he is on the street, and the street side salesman, street side businessman is teaching him, hey gentleman, you can sell, you have a confidence with which you go out, learn these things. And this can be a beginning for it like that. And I picked up the selling as an important activity to transform higher education. So that is the reason why I call it as, go to the next slide, sir. Yeah, you can imagine, this is, I think anybody can understand by looking at the background of the picture, where is this particular picture is being taken. These are all MBA students of NITI, where they were selling on the street. Look at the background. Where is the background, sir? This particular scene?
This is Juhu Beach somewhere.
There's Rajbhavan in Bombay.
Oh, Raj. Oh, okay.
Last point, last point like that. Actually, they were selling these toys. Actually, can I have my camera? I got something in my hand. Yeah. So they were selling these kind of toys which are there in that, and this is called a mathematical toy which they are selling in Bombay area, and the whole day they will be going around and selling it. And the idea is that they will be picking up and understanding the basic lessons of business, and they are enhancing the learning, and they are becoming an amazing kind of a gentleman through this particular process. So this is how it is being planned. Go back to the slides. So this is the students for the last 20 years, 2003 onwards, almost 20 years are doing this exercise. And this program is called Mandi program. Can you go to the next slides? Yeah. Reality bites. You look at these particular newspaper coverage, where 500 and 1,000 students of MBAs will sent into the market. They go with a saman, with also an inventory merchandise, and they do it. This particular program is called Mandi Mahamandi, and the slogan is Bech Bech ke Siko, Sikhai Bech ke Siko. NITI students done salesmen's this thing in new orientation. Go to the next slide, sir. Yeah. Budding managers get street smart. So these are a 2004 clip. This is the Times of India, 2004. So this is an amazing kind of an experience with which we came out, and this is the first step how we have introduced. I will give the funda behind it exercise as we go by, but this is the first glimpses for transforming education to innovating higher education. And 4 crore students, they need not become berozgari, they need not be looted, they need not be the money is looted. They also become street smart and come out with not only best managers but also best businessmen. Also they can come. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Yeah. B schools hit Mahamandi. These are all news coverages which are there in multiple times. This is a 2010 actually. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. The whole idea was that conventionally it is Vaito, Suno, Liko, Yad Karo, Ulti Karo, Siko. This is the basic phenomena with which higher education is being created. Ulti Karo means writing an answer sheet is Ulti Karna. Yad Karo, Liko, Vaito, Suno. तो बिठा के सुनाना, याद करना, रट मारना, this is the fundamental of education. Especially even for higher education, this has become kind of thing. We talk about saying that no, in US, in European countries, students are made it to more practical, while you are not doing like that. So this is the problem. We made it theoretical, we never made it practical. And from practical, we can also go further. We call it as more productive. Actually, we never made it practical, we never made it productive. So we converted this exercise into a new model, which is what becho becho socho सीखो बनो. So this is the whole idea. काबिल नहीं बगैर खाम बगैर कमाई तालीम काबिल नहीं. Without work, without earning, learning can never be काबिल नहीं बगैर काम बगैर कमाई. So workless is worthless education. We need to introduce work into the learning process. We are not just talking about activity, we are talking about work. There is a fundamental difference between work and activity. There are a lot of activities which are time wasters. They don't add value. But work essentially adds value. So काम से कमाई होना है. This is not a bad idea to have education which is work based. And why higher education is nakami? Basically, there is no work. Bagar काम पढ़ाई nakami है. And educated also becomes nakami because they become useless, they become worthless because there is no work. So the thing which is missing in this higher education is work. You look at computer engineers, you look at engineering students, you look at biology students, you look at agriculture students, you look at political science students, you look at mathematics students, you look at any kind of students. The essential thing missing in higher education is that work. Kaam nahi hai. And when the work is not there, and it becomes devil's mind, and they are full timers. Please understand, we are talking about 20 plus years adults, 4 crores, 5 crores students. You can't control them with the work. It is impossible. You can't make them to get committed, engaged 24/7 without work. And they are getting released into for work. Sand work. I mean, without work, if they are paying and getting to that, that's the most dangerous because they are answerable. They can't find the work. They don't know what to do. They require a lot of time. Employers are asking, saying that we want ready-made hands. We don't want rough and raw hands. We want 100% ready candidates. And today we have technology. We have got an amazing kind of exposure, which we can make anybody to be able to understand work very easy. So this is the fundamental difference which is picked up. How to insert work as part of regular education is my concern. And we have done extremely good work in the last some time. I will show you how it can happen. We'll go to the next slide if possible. Yeah. So from setting a small sample kind of thing, we go to the next step. This is much more highly advanced level. Hundreds of students are showing how they registered their companies. You can go back to the slides. So they registered their companies and they're all having a festival of registration of their companies. So it's like a Shadi registration like that. Their company is also being registered like that. Please understand, a 20 years boy or a girl can register a company. It's nothing wrong. They can they have got a foreign passport. They got an Aadhaar card. They got a driving license. They can get into an agreement. They can also create a company. So the culture, the mindset change is that the 4 crore students can be exposed to them saying that you can start a business, run a business. It's not difficult. So we can create a festival of companies for these 4 crore students. Some of you might getting an idea, I might doubt that no, how a political science student will be related to a company. Actually, political science students can run wonderful political companies today. Today, every company is a political company, and political companies mostly more money-making companies today.
Yeah. Yeah.
That day, without any hinting at any political party, look at the kind of companies we have it. The political consultants, like amazing political kind of consultants we got it. So a political science student, an agriculture student. Agriculture is one of the important business opportunity today. So we are not trying to say it is a business. What we would like to say is that inserting economic activity as a learning activity as part of regular curriculum will completely change the learning process. This is the essential thing which we should look at it. It can be done mathematics related economic activity. It can be done biology related economic activity. It can be done zoology related economic activity. It can be done thermodynamics related economic activity. Somebody might say that how come we can do plastic related to economic activity? How come we cannot be done? It can be done easily done. Anything can be done in economic activity. Actually, the whole world is today it is economic activity. Journalism is economic activity today. Who said economic journalism is not economic activity? So any activity can be converted into economic, essentially as a learning process. Please understand. The point is not money mindedness. The point is that inculcating money orientation, earning orientation, value generation. I'll repeat these three concepts again and again. Money generation, value generation is essential for an young man. The country as India as a country, we are not developing, we are not becoming a superpower only because we don't have economic thinking. European economy, they have a selling attitude. They sell everything and anything. We make it, they sell to us. So the whole idea is that customer creation, customer delivery, product delivery to the customer, value generation, value capturing. This is essential for an young man, and that too as part of higher education learning. After higher education, whether a student will become a businessman or not is not the issue. But higher education can be learned on economic terms. Somebody might say, no, 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 economics should not enter higher education because they have intellectual orientation. They should be academic. They should go to the library. Yes, they should go to the library, but they also should go to the market. They are spending lakhs of rupees. They also should be able to understand how to retrieve this particular money. They are not retrieving, they are not able to get back the money, their education is useless. And it is only to teach to the students, to make them to learn them that it is they are capable of retrieving the money which they are spending very easily, very innovatively, which will strengthen their learning, which will work as proof of their learning. Please understand, it's not only helping them to support their education economically, financially, but the earning will also work as a validation mechanism. When surplus is created, we can conveniently assume that they lent it. If they have not made value, we can say that they have not lent it. Learning is only an inference. Learning we can't check based upon somebody kind of thing. Examinations, answer sheets, mark sheets are okay, but they are very, very poor proxies of true learning. True learning should be reflected through useful praxis, not useless proxies. Marks gold medal is not a useful proxy. But if gold medal is a real gold medal, real gold means Swarna means really Swarna Patak. It's not a plastic patak which is named as a Swarna Patak. So if an MBA student earns 10 lakh rupees in an MBA, he doesn't require a job. He can give a job to somebody else saying that I earn 10 lakh rupees, I can give you a job. Why I require a job like that? And today the whole thing is changed. Today it is quite possible for the graduate and postgraduate students to completely think very differently. This is how it can be made possible. I've tried to show to you like. Can we go to the next slide if possible, sir? So these are the companies, how they registered. Students go into business setup registered firms. You can imagine, I mean, when it was done, I think 2007 or 5, I think it is. Yeah, go ahead. Management students start business firms. It's very common like it's easy. Actually, they can easily do it like that. If they can have a passport, they can go abroad and come back. They can start a company easily. Go ahead. So we basically pick up two important things, Mandi and student startups. So Mandi is a one-day activity, small activity. We demonstrate that economic activity can be done as part of education. Student startups is a long-term, over a period of 2 years, 1.5 years, which will be doing it. So it's a consistent activity which will be leading to great results. So two important interventions which I created as part of innovating education is Mandi and student startups. I'll throw a little more, light on these two concepts, and please go to the next slide. Yeah. So one student, one day, 100 rupees is the slogan. One S, one D, and one H. एक दिन, एक छात्र, 100 रुपए कमाना है. It's not a difficult target for any student. And 4 crore students, graduate students, if they earn every day 100 rupees, 400 crores are being earned by Indian adults. And if one day income is 400 crores, 300 means 300 into 400, it is 12,000 crores per annum. And we are talking about 100 rupees. 100 rupees is easily can be done by any graduate students. We are talking about 20 plus years of students. Actually, they spend every day 2 to 3,000 rupees every day. Our higher education budget is 46,000 crores. 46,000 crores. 46,000 or 4,600 crores, sir? 46,000, I think. 1 lakh is around total budget, 1 lakh crores. So higher education will get around 46,000.
Right, sir. 46,000.
So one student, pardon me, sir?
46, yeah.
Yeah. One student, one day, 100 rupees can be easily. This is the target which I have. 112. If you are losing 20 rupees, at least you should be able to earn back one. Where is the minimum target? It is a reasonable target for any student. And this can be done as part of education. It is done through education. Like a padai dauran kar sakta hai. It is not apart from, it is not separate. It is one side we see education, other side we see is an earning. They are two different things. So 24/7, all days, without exception, it can be every day is spending like that. So 5 word W also I say. 5W means WWWW. We talk about word. Word is basically akshara. Basically learning part. Word is the second more important thing like that. Every word can be converted into work. This is second thing like that. Third more important thing is that we can talk about wisdom. This is third W also we can look at. There are 5 words which W we can also see. Can we go ahead, sir? I'll tell you more as we go by. Yeah. Word, work, world, wealth, and wisdom. All these things can be put it in. So we can make higher education easily possible. Every word can be converted into work. Every work can be related to world, dunya, and the world will give you wealth. The world will give you wisdom. In such a case, we don't find berojgari, we don't find unemployment, we don't find diwala, we don't find stupid, we don't find. We find most intelligent people. When these 5 things come together for any young man, word, work, world, wealth, and wisdom, he becomes avidya vimukta hai. Completely an individual becomes free, and vimukti also. We need credible higher education because the higher education have a credibility. So when you have these 5 W's, word, work, world, wealth, and wisdom, we get an amazing kind of credibility. There is no doubt about education. Nobody will doubt it. Everybody will be able to understand that this gentleman is a musician, this gentleman is a botanist, this gentleman is a zoologist, this gentleman is a geologist, this gentleman is a lawyer, this gentleman can be in a political sciences. We can easily believe them. So credible higher education is possible with these 5 W's, and any education can be converted. Go to the next level, sir. Yeah. So usually most of the higher education, what they do, they put the work, but usually work is separated from the knowing. Like the word and work are two separated can be done. Actually, what we want is that word and work should be one and the same. It's like a rupee note, both the sides of it, upwards and reverse of the rupee coin. Actually, I kept that rupee note there. If you can see it, you're able to see in the right side top corner behind your camera. When your the thing, there is a rupee note. 10 rupees kind of thing. So it is basically 2 sides of the same coin is knowing and working. So we can create where knowing is the working is the knowing. Both things is one and the same. So we need to integrate the work as part of knowing and learning. So this can be done where it is in curricular, It is instantaneous, and knowledge and work both are related. And student do it by himself, for himself, for the education, he does it like. So it is the student is the owner, student doing it for oneself. This is quite possible for it in terms of doing it. So we are expecting students to make starting with a small activity to slowly spread to the next higher level. It can be taken back. Next slide, sir. We'll have more questions as we go by. So I call it as knowing, working, selling, and earning. These are three levels of education. Janna or Manna, Apnana. These are the basic kind of thing. Janna, Manna, Apnana is knowing. So basically a self-development process. But from Janna, Manna, it makes no sense. One has to sell to the others, give service to the others, help others. Then only we'll be able to understand whether we are lent or not. So it's basically banana or bechna. That is working and making available services to the others. And bechna is the third level. And finally, mana. So knowing, working, selling, and earning is multiple levels. The knowing is converted easily can be done. This can be done for political science, economics, public administration, design thinking, any subject it can be done. It's not that my subject cannot be done. It's absolutely cannot be understandable. So there are three R's. Rigor is there. Rigor is basically about thinking. Relevance is basically thinking how it is made useful to the society. That is relevance. And more important thing is rigor and relevance leading to reward. Unless reward is there, rigor and relevance is absolutely useless. सिक्का नहीं निकाला पढ़ाई बेकार है. सिक्का नहीं निकाला पढ़ाई बेकार है. And the proof of learning is in earning. Now, usually academics feel fear to say this. They say that no, rigor and relevance is very important. Don't talk about reward. It can't. Actually, what is missing in higher education today is reward. We got an extremely great rigor. We also got a great curriculum changing, this, that, hundreds of rupees are spending, meeting and meeting and meeting and meeting. Talk about relevance. बात करने से relevance थोड़ी होता है.
Right, sir.
The grahak should say that what you are giving me is value. And बोलना है कि ये पैसे ले ले बेटा. So rigor, relevance has to come in Rokda. Rokda nahi hai, education is absolutely waste. Yeah, so R sure, to the R to the R. So actually, this Telugu here, director has made Tribula R. Rajamouli and sir, he made 5,000 crores, sir.
True. I think, yeah, absolutely true, sir. And I think with your guidance, and I think with the kind of work that you are leading in the academia, I think more than 4,000 crores, 5,000 crores, you mentioned that, if we are able to get, and I'm sure in the next couple of years or so, with a lot of this rigor, a lot of push, and a lot of effort from your side that, for so many decades that you have been transforming, it's going to act like a radioactive reaction. More and more people are going to come towards it, add on to it. And I think that value that people see, and like you're mentioning, yeah, yes, sir.
The t-shirt which I'm wearing is by one of my students' company called Kisan Kirana.
Wow.
You can imagine, if you just open to Kisan Kirana and ask them, and say that, sir, this is an amazing sir. Today is maybe around 500 crores or 600 crores company.
Wow.
So it's quite possible like that.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm sure actually, thank you so much, sir, for your insights. And we have a couple of questions which I'll take offline, in the session also as we go along. But I think thank you so much for your insights and a lot of motivation to the audience. And I see that, a lot of academia also has to work along with, the industry has to join forces with the academia to a large extent to really transform this, and to have people start thinking in that direction. And I'm sure in the next couple of years or so that we will be really able to transform our education system, higher education system, and encourage people. Not that, everybody will become like an entrepreneur and start giving jobs, but that mindset of an entrepreneur, which is so very
Yeah.
necessary, even when people are working with industry, is that how can I really add value to what I'm doing, and value
Yeah.
not in just terms of doing stuff, but doing great stuff, innovative stuff for the organizations. Thank you so much, sir, for your time, and it's been a great learning, and I'm sure the audience has some very great takeaways from today's session, and really inspiring for me also as an individual, because
I, it's my pleasure.
it's been really influential, and looking forward to collaborating with you further in terms of what all experiments we could run so that we could accelerate some of these initiatives in our institutes. And thank you so much, sir, for your time again, and looking
Sure.
forward to one more session in future as we can communicate.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to join you, innovators. And there's a lot we can do. It's amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.